You wake up, and before your eyes even open, your mind starts running. It's scanning for what's wrong, what hurts, what failed, what didn't go your way yesterday. That's not pessimism, that's survival. Your brain evolved to protect you, not to make you happy. The amygdala, your built-in alarm system, constantly scans for danger. It doesn't care about joy or beauty, it only wants to keep you alive. That's why gratitude isn't automatic. It's rebellion, mental resistance training against millions of years of fear-based wiring. But here's the problem. The modern world hijacks that ancient mechanism. You're no longer surrounded by predators. You're surrounded by comparisons, deadlines, notifications, and noise. You're safe, but your brain doesn't know it. So it keeps firing alarms about imaginary threats, the email you haven't answered, the look someone gave you, the thought that you're behind in life. That's why you wake up tired before you even start your day, because your brain begins the morning in survival mode. And this is where gratitude becomes revolutionary. It's not just about saying thank you for the good things. It's about teaching your brain to interpret reality differently. It's not pretending everything's fine, it's choosing what to magnify. Every time you focus on what's working, your brain releases serotonin and dopamine, the same neurotransmitters antidepressants try to boost artificially. Gratitude is the natural antidepressant your biology already built. You see, every thought you repeat becomes a neural path. Complaining strengthens one network. Appreciation strengthens another. The more you use one, the weaker the other becomes. After weeks of repetition, one wins. That's neuroplasticity. You literally sculpt your brain with your focus. You can train your nervous system to either live in fear or in freedom. Most people don't realize this. They think emotions just happen. But your brain is programmable. What you repeat becomes your reality. When you complain, your brain gives you a short hit of validation. A small toxic reward that says, "You're right, the world's unfair." It feels good for a moment. But underneath that comfort, your nervous system is drowning in cortisol. Your body begins interpreting life as threat. The muscles tighten, breathing shortens, digestion slows, and your creativity fades. You think you're unlucky, but really, you're chemically addicted to negativity. Your brain learned that complaining equals safety because it gives you control, even if it's control over something miserable. Breaking that loop isn't about toxic positivity, it's about awareness. You can't change what you don't catch. The first step is noticing your first complaint of the day. That small awareness is the crack where light enters. When you catch yourself thinking, "I hate this traffic," you pause. You breathe, you reframe it. This is time to slow down. I can think, I can listen to something inspiring. It's not lying to yourself, it's training perception to look wider. Your brain interprets the world through repetition. If you repeat scarcity, it filters reality through threat. If you repeat gratitude, it filters it through growth. The moment you start doing this, even badly, you begin rewiring. You don't need to feel grateful instantly. You need to teach your brain what to look for. Gratitude isn't always an emotion at first. It's a decision. The feeling comes later, once the brain catches up. The most powerful way to train it is to make it emotional. The brain doesn't remember words, it remembers feelings. So you don't just say, "I'm grateful for food." You look at your plate and realize how many hands made it possible. Farmers, sunlight, rain, time, soil, an entire chain of life led to what's in front of you. You don't say, "I'm grateful for water." You feel the coolness against your lips and remember that billions of people don't have access to it. You start connecting awareness to sensation, and suddenly gratitude isn't a thought, it's awe. Awe is what resets the nervous system. When you're in awe, the prefrontal cortex quiets, and your sense of separateness fades. You stop analyzing and start experiencing. You feel safe, connected, and alive. That's not spirituality, that's biology. The vagus nerve, your body's main relaxation highway, lights up when you feel gratitude or wonder. It lowers heart rate, improves digestion, strengthens immunity. Gratitude literally heals. But the modern world doesn't want you grateful, it wants you chasing. Advertising runs on lack. Social media runs on comparison. The entire system profits when you feel not enough. Every scroll reinforces the idea that someone else's life is better. Gratitude breaks that system because it makes you unmarketable. When you're truly thankful, you stop needing. You stop being manipulated. You become free. Imagine losing your phone for a day. You panic at first, then something strange happens. You notice the wind, you hear birds, you see color. That's what happens when stimulation drops and perception expands. Gratitude creates the same state without loss. It's not about deprivation, it's about awareness. You begin to see the micro miracles: warm water, laughter, your heartbeat, the ability to read these words. That's the real abundance most people overlook, chasing imaginary versions of it. And here's what few realize. Gratitude is the root of clarity. When you stop fixating on what's missing, your mind quiets and your intuition surfaces. The part of you that sees patterns, that makes wise choices, that feels alignment, that part thrives when your nervous system feels safe. Gratitude is how you create that safety internally. You stop running, and when you stop running, you start seeing. There's nothing soft about it. Gratitude is a discipline. It's what warriors of the mind practice daily. It's self-control disguised as peace. It's the decision to see value even in discomfort. That's why people who've suffered deeply often become the most grateful. Not because their lives are easy, but because they've learned to see meaning where others only see pain. Think about Viktor Frankl, the psychiatrist who survived the Holocaust. Surrounded by death, stripped of everything, he wrote, "Everything can be taken from a man but one thing, the freedom to choose one's attitude." Gratitude, even in hell, was his form of rebellion. It wasn't naive, it was survival. He understood that even in chaos you can still decide how to interpret reality. That decision makes you human. When life falls apart, gratitude becomes faith, not blind optimism, but trust in hidden order. It's saying, "I don't understand this now, but I trust there's meaning in it." That mindset is what makes people unshakable. They're not positive because life is easy. They're stable because they've trained perception to find purpose in everything. Pain stops being punishment and becomes instruction. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." That's not philosophy, that's gratitude disguised as wisdom. When something hurts, you ask, "What is this trying to awaken in me?" That's how you turn pain into power. And you can't fake it. Real gratitude doesn't start with comfort. It starts in the dark. It starts when you realize how much you still have, even when everything feels gone. It starts when you lose something you took for granted and suddenly see what it meant. Gratitude isn't soft light, it's firelight, warmth born from struggle. It's also the quickest way to dissolve ego. Ego lives on dissatisfaction, on the idea that something's missing, that you're behind, that you're not enough. Gratitude kills that illusion. When you're thankful, you can't feel inferior or superior, you just are. That's peace, not numbness, but the absence of comparison. And here's the paradox. When you stop needing more, more arrives. When you appreciate what you have, your energy shifts from resistance to flow. People want to be around you. Opportunities seem to appear. But it's not magic, it's coherence. The heart and brain start syncing rhythmically when you feel gratitude. The HeartMath Institute has measured this. Gratitude produces the most harmonious electromagnetic pattern in the human body. When your body is coherent, your life becomes coherent. You make better choices because you're aligned, not reactive. Still, there will be days you forget. You'll slip back into complaining, into scarcity. But every relapse is a chance to practice again. Gratitude isn't perfection, it's direction. You just notice, reframe, and return. That repetition is what builds the muscle. Like meditation, the power isn't in staying focused, it's in coming back. Every return rewires you deeper. Over time, something changes. You stop doing gratitude, you become it. You wake up and your first thought isn't, what's missing, but what's already here. Relationships soften because you stop expecting perfection. Work feels lighter because you see purpose in the process, not just the outcome. Food tastes richer, the air feels cleaner, even silence feels alive. Gratitude becomes your emotional home. And from that home, you stop fearing the storms. You realize that life was never about controlling what happens. It was about mastering how you meet it. Gratitude is emotional jujitsu, using life's force to strengthen, not destroy you. That's the beginning of self-mastery. Not forcing positivity, but learning to interpret every experience as material for growth. You stop asking, why me? And start asking, what is this trying to teach me? And when you begin to live like that, aware, grounded, unreactive, the universe starts mirroring it. Because perception creates reality, and gratitude refines perception. Life doesn't become easier, but it starts feeling sacred. You stop needing constant highs, calm becomes enough. That's where freedom begins. You begin to understand that gratitude is not about pretending everything is fine. It's about learning how to see clearly, to stop being blind to what's already working. When you live in constant reaction, you miss the quiet miracles happening around you every second. The human brain is wired to normalize blessings. It turns them invisible. Gratitude reverses that blindness. The truth is, most people never realize how good they already have it until something breaks. Health, love, safety, peace. Then suddenly all the things they ignored become priceless. That's the danger of waiting for loss to learn appreciation. You don't have to lose to wake up. You just have to look closer. That's the essence of a grateful life, paying attention. Because attention decides experience. The average person checks their phone 100 times a day, but forgets to check in with their own life. Gratitude is the art of checking back in. You pause in the middle of ordinary moments and actually feel them, the taste of coffee, the sound of someone laughing, the fact that your heart keeps beating without your permission. And that's the doorway to peace. Peace doesn't come from having everything under control. It comes from trusting that even if you lose control, you'll still be okay. Gratitude teaches that trust. The more you focus on what remains, the less terrified you are of what disappears. That's why people who practice gratitude daily are more emotionally resilient. They still feel pain, but they don't collapse under it. They've built a mental habit of looking for strength inside the struggle. Their self-talk is different. Where most people say, "This is unfair," they say, "This is hard, but maybe I'm being built for something stronger." They don't glorify suffering, but they use it. Pain becomes data. Discomfort becomes teacher. This is the skill of emotional mastery, and gratitude is how you train it. When you're grateful, you create distance between event and reaction. You give yourself a second to breathe, to respond instead of explode. That's what maturity is, space between stimulus and response. Gratitude widens that space. But let's make it practical. How do you actually live this every day? It starts small. In the morning, before your brain downloads the noise of the world, anchor yourself. Don't reach for your phone, reach for your awareness. Say one thing out loud you're genuinely thankful for. Not a list, just one thing. Your bed, your breath, the warmth of the room. Then pause and feel it for 20 seconds. That's how long it takes for the emotion to imprint in the hippocampus. You're literally programming your brain for calm before the day begins. Then, as the day unfolds, use negativity as your cue. Every complaint is a signal. When you're about to say, "This sucks," stop. Flip it. Ask, "What's the other angle?" If you're stuck in traffic, it's not punishment. It's time to think, to listen, to breathe. If someone is rude, it's a reminder that you don't want to be. You can't always control life, but you can always control interpretation. And interpretation is where all power lives. At night, before sleep, scan the day backward. Your mind remembers what it ends on. Choose to end on gratitude. Pick 3 things that went right, no matter how small. Maybe someone smiled at you. Maybe your body didn't ache today. Maybe you just made it through. That's enough. Write them or whisper them, but feel them. Then pick one challenge and find one lesson in it. That's how you teach your subconscious that even pain has purpose. As you fall asleep, that message keeps replaying in your brain's alpha waves, reshaping your emotional baseline for the next day. Over time, this becomes second nature. Gratitude turns from exercise to instinct. You stop forcing it because it starts choosing you. You walk differently, breathe differently, even speak differently. You stop using dramatic language to describe small problems. You stop saying "I hate" so easily. You notice your words have energy, and your energy builds your reality. You begin to live like someone who knows that attention is sacred, and life responds. Opportunities find you, not by magic, but because your perception expands. You see what others miss, a conversation that could lead to growth, a small act of kindness that deepens connection, a new idea hiding inside frustration. Gratitude makes your mind agile. You become solution-oriented instead of problem-obsessed. You also stop envying others because you understand something most people never grasp. Envy means you've forgotten your own blessings. Gratitude cures that blindness instantly. It pulls you back to your lane where everything you need to become your best already exists. And it's not that grateful people have perfect lives. They just know how to extract meaning from chaos. That's the secret. Life isn't about control, it's about interpretation. The meaning you assign to events is what defines you, not the events themselves. 2 people can experience the same loss. One breaks, the other awakens. The difference is focus. Focus is everything. The brain's reticular activating system, your internal filter, decides what information to let through based on what you consider important. If you constantly focus on problems, your brain floods you with more of them. If you focus on gratitude, it starts highlighting everything that supports that feeling. You literally train your perception to see beauty, solutions, and signs of alignment. The world doesn't change, awareness does. That's why grateful people seem lucky. They're not. They're just more conscious. Their eyes are trained to see doors where others only see walls. That's not optimism, it's realism without fear. Still, you'll have days when it's harder. The mind will drag you back to scarcity, to what's missing, to who hurt you. When that happens, don't fight it, witness it. Gratitude doesn't mean suppressing pain, it means facing it with clarity. Ask yourself, what's this trying to show me? That question dissolves resistance. You realize life isn't attacking you, it's talking to you. Because that's what the universe really does. It speaks in repetition. The same patterns keep appearing until you learn the lesson. Gratitude accelerates that process. It's how you pass the test faster by saying, I see it now. I understand. Thank you. The moment you extract the meaning, the challenge loses its power over you. There's freedom in that. You stop being a victim of circumstances and become a participant in your own evolution. Every problem becomes a tool. Every ending becomes direction. You stop asking, why me, and start asking, what now? That single shift turns despair into momentum. Over time, your emotional baseline rises. You don't fluctuate as much. You stop chasing highs and fearing lows. You begin to live in equilibrium, calm but alive. That's what people sense when they're around you, that quiet strength. You stop draining others with complaints and start feeding them with presence. Gratitude radiates stability. It's contagious because nervous systems mirror each other. When you're calm, others relax. When you're grounded, others feel safe. That's real influence, not power over people, but peace that draws them in. And gratitude doesn't make you passive, it makes you powerful. When you're grateful, you stop wasting energy on resentment and redirect it toward creation. You start taking better care of your body because you realize it's sacred. You work with more focus because you understand that time is limited. You speak with more kindness because you see everyone as fighting their own invisible battles. Gratitude matures you. At its highest form, gratitude becomes reverence, not religious but existential. You stop needing life to go your way. You start loving it for being what it is, unpredictable, mysterious, alive. You realize that every single thing from heartbreak to failure served a purpose. It either shaped your strength or refined your understanding. And when you can say thank you for both the blessings and the bruises, you've reached a level of peace no one can take from you. You see, gratitude isn't about pretending bad things are good. It's about realizing that even pain has meaning. Every challenge you've survived gave you wisdom you couldn't have learned any other way. Every disappointment redirected you to something truer. Every loss carved space for something deeper. Gratitude doesn't erase suffering, it gives it context. And when you finally live that truth, you become untouchable. Not cold, not numb, but anchored. Life still throws storms, but you've grown roots deep enough to hold. You can walk through fire and still whisper, "Thank you for the heat," because you know that everything is refining you. That's the ultimate mastery, to live so aware, so present, that nothing can make you forget how lucky you are just to be alive. Gratitude is not a reaction, it's a lifestyle. It's how you walk, how you speak, how you recover. It's how you rise from pain without losing your softness. And when people ask you why you seem calm when others panic, why your life feels lighter even when it's not easier, you'll tell them the truth. You didn't find happiness, you trained your mind to see it.